What is up, beautiful people? My name is Dana. In this episode, I am going to be addressing the border. As I'm sure you already know, if you ask the Democrats, the border situation has become out of hand and hard to manage because of Donald Trump's weak border policies. Donald Trump hasn't been in office for over 3.5 years, so I personally call bullshit. But proof is in the pudding, talk is cheap. So I'm just going to go over briefly the executive orders from each administration that specifically refers to or involves the border. We'll start out with 2017. So here we have January 30th, 2017. Border security and immigration enforcement improvements. So in this policy, secure the southern border by building a wall, detain individuals apprehended on suspicion of violating federal and state laws, remove those individuals whose claims to be in the United States have been lawfully rejected, cooperate fully with the states and local law enforcement in enacting federal-state partnerships. Okay, so that's his first executive order involving the border. Let's keep going. Protecting the nation from foreign terrorist entry into the United States. United States protect its citizens from foreign nationals who intend to commit terrorist attacks. Prevent the admission of foreign nationals who intend to exploit the United States immigration laws. A suspension of issuance of visas and other immigration benefits to nationals of countries of particular concern. Okay, so we have that one. Enforcing federal law with respect to transnational criminal organizations and preventing international trafficking. Here we have the policy, strengthen enforcement of federal law in order to thwart transnational criminal organizations and subsidiary organizations, including gangs, cartels, racketeering organizations, illegal smuggling, trafficking of humans. So that's that one. Protecting the nation from foreign terrorist entry into the United States. Policy and purpose, protect the citizens from terrorist attacks, including those committed by foreign nationals, screening and vetting and protocols and procedures associated with the visa issuance process and the refugee admissions program play a crucial role in detecting foreign nationals who may commit, aid, or support acts of terrorism in preventing those individuals from entering the United States. So these are all 2017s, all right? Now let's go to 2018. Here we go. Here's another one. Protecting America through lawful detention of terrorists. Consistent with the longstanding law of war principles and applicable law, the United States may detain certain persons captured in connection with an armed conflict for the duration of the conflict. This has to do with keeping people in detention, lawfully detaining terrorists. So that takes care of 2018. Now let's go to 2019. Here we go. Enhancing state and local involvement in refugee resettlement. And the purpose of this executive order states in resettling refugees into American communities is the policy of the United States to cooperate and consult with state and local governments to take into account the preferences of state governments and to provide a pathway for refugees to become self-sufficient. These policies support each other. Close cooperation with state and local governments ensures that refugees are resettled in communities that are eager and equipped to support their successful integration into American society and the labor force. Okay, taking additional steps to address the national emergency with respect to significant transnational criminal organizations. So, in order to take additional steps to deal with the national emergency with respect to significant transnational criminal organizations, declared in Executive Order 13581, which is the executive order titled Blocking Property of Transnational Criminal Organizations, says in view of the evolution of these organizations, as well as increasing sophistication of their activities, which threaten international political and economic systems, pose a direct threat to the safety and welfare of the United States and its citizens, and given their ability to derive revenue through widespread illegal conduct, whether it's acts of violence, abuse, a disregard for human life, he is ordering that the subsection be amended to read that all transnational criminal organizations is a group of persons that includes one or more foreign persons that engages in or facilitates an ongoing pattern of serious criminal activity involving the jurisdictions of at least 2 foreign states or 1 foreign state in the United States, and threatens national security, foreign policy, or economy of the United States. So far, all of his executive orders are strengthening the security of the country and keeping Americans safe. These are not failed policies, in my personal opinion. They are common sense policies. They're pro-America. They're pro-American citizens. They are pro-safety. They make sense. But that's just me. And that takes care of 2019. So let's go to 2020. Oh, there's so much stuff. Ugh. So, out of the executive orders I showed you that were issued by Donald Trump that addressed the border, was there anything in there that gave you the impression that those policies could possibly lead to the absolute dumpster fire of a situation we have right now, where millions of mostly unvetted illegal immigrants have been allowed to come into the interior of our country and be supported and funded by our taxpayer dollars? Let me know what you think. So let's go to the Biden-Harris administration, or Joe Biden's executive orders, and let's see whether or not they're actually telling the truth. We'll start with 2021, and we're going to start with when he first got into office. So January 20th. Okay, he signed quite a few executive orders on his first day in office, y'all. I don't know if you were paying attention, but I swear the stack was like this big. Yeah, it was crazy. But anywho, okay, so he did a lot on his first day. Look at what we already go through. Okay, signed January 20th, 2021, revision of civil immigration enforcement policies and priorities. This policy, immigrants have helped strengthen America's families, communities, businesses, and so he says the policy of my administration is to protect national and border security, address humanitarian challenges, ensure public health and safety. Now, here, look at this. So, this executive order revokes some of Trump's executive orders pertaining to the border, starting with Trump's executive order that was titled Enhancing Public Safety in the Interior of the United States. Let me repeat that. This executive order of Joe Biden's revoked Trump's executive order that was made to enhance public safety in the interior of the United States. Yeah. So Joe Biden revoked Donald Trump's executive order enhancing public safety in the interior of the United States. And then he basically said, I want the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, Secretary of Homeland Security, and the Director of Office of Management and Budget, and the Director of Office of Personal Management, and the heads of any other relevant executive departments and agencies to review agency actions developed pursuant to Donald Trump's executive order and take action, revise the guidance as appropriate and consistent with applicable law, and instead change it all up to advance his goals and policies in this executive order. And that's what he says. My administration will reset the policies and practices for enforcing civil immigration laws to align enforcement with his values and priorities. That was signed on the first day he came into office, folks. Just so you know. Okay. Here we go. So, on February 2nd, he signed another executive order. And it's a long title, folks. Creating a comprehensive regional framework to address the causes of migration, to manage migration throughout North and Central America, and to provide safe and orderly processing of asylum seekers at the United States border. Now, I will tell you that this particular executive order is long and detailed. I'm just going to try to give you the brass tacks. All right, so policy. This is important. So, My administration will implement a multi-pronged approach towards managing migration throughout North and Central America that reflects the nation's highest values. We will work closely with civil society, international organizations, governments in the region to establish a comprehensive strategy for addressing the causes of migration, build and strengthen and expand Central and North America countries' asylum systems and resettlement capacity, increase opportunities for vulnerable populations to apply for protection. So they want a strategy for addressing the root causes of migration and a strategy for collaboratively managing migration in the region. Coordinate place-based efforts in El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, aka the Northern Triangle, to address the root causes of migration. Y'all, it doesn't even feel right grazing, like going through this lightly. There's so much detail in this executive order, and it has a lot to do with the dumpster fire that our border has become, that it has turned into. Yeah, so expansion of lawful pathways for protection opportunity in the United States, and reverse the 2017 decision to rescind the Central American minors parole policy. So consider promoting family unity. Let's see. There's so much. Okay, so resuming safe and orderly processing of asylum claims at United States land borders. Look at all of this. So here's what's important. Okay, this executive order revoked quite a few of Trump's executive orders that were made to strengthen and protect our border. One of them being Executive Order 13767, which was Trump's executive order titled Border Security and Immigration Enforcement Improvements. It revoked Trump's Proclamation 9880, which was addressing mass migration through the southern border of the United States. It revoked Trump's presidential memorandum titled Additional Measures to Enhance Border Security and Restore Integrity to Our Immigration System. It revoked Trump's presidential memorandum titled Ending Catch and Release at the Border of the United States and Directing Other Enhancements to Immigration Enforcement. And it revokes Trump's presidential memorandum titled Securing the Southern Border of the United States. Y'all. As you can see, Joe Biden, and per Kamala's word, she had a part to do with this too. Just this executive order alone stripped a lot of the protections and policies protecting America and American citizens out. It just stripped them away. It nullified them, revoked them. So, whose policies are responsible for the dumpster fire at the border? Here you go. And as you can see, it's long. There's a lot there. So take it upon yourself to look it up and read it for yourself. Facts don't lie, folks. This is what's up, okay? So, restoring faith in our legal immigration systems and strengthening integration and inclusion efforts for new Americans. Yes. So, let's see. Look at this. Just the policy itself is mostly a bunch of like pro-immigration. Like it's all about the immigrants. It's in the nation's interest to, bring all the immigrants over here and not take care of Americans. Anywho. So, let's see, role of Domestic Policy Council. Let's see, restoring trust in our legal immigration system. So, let's see, they want to identify barriers that impede access to immigration benefits and fair, efficient adjudications of these benefits. Make recommendations on how to remove the barriers to these benefits. And identify agency actions that fail to promote access to the legal immigration system. Immediate review of agency actions on public charge and admissibility, promote naturalization, So they want to eliminate barriers in and otherwise improve the existing naturalization process, including by conducting a comprehensive review with particular emphasis on the N400 application, fingerprinting, background and security checks, interviews, civics and English language tests, and the oath of allegiance. Essentially, he's like, you know what, we need to eliminate a lot of this because it is hindering illegal immigrants' abilities to become an American citizen, basically. Facilitate naturalization, implementing improvements to the naturalization process. Y'all, it's a lot. So, Section 6, revocation. The presidential memorandum of May 23rd, 2019, which was the memorandum by Trump enforcing the legal responsibilities of sponsors of aliens, is revoked. So this executive order revokes President Trump's memorandum to enforce the responsibility of sponsors of aliens and aliens themselves to be able to take care of themselves when they get over here. I don't know many people in my day-to-day life that wouldn't see that as a commonsensical thing to expect. You expect if someone's going to come visit you or live with you that they can, if they're an adult especially, that they can take care of themselves. They can support themselves. They can pay their bills. They can find a way, get a job, that sort of thing. President Trump thought that made sense. Sounds like it makes sense to me. Biden and Harris, however, felt like that wasn't right. So, sorry to be so long-winded, y'all, but this is a lot. This isn't a cut and dry thing. This isn't black and white. There's a lot of layers. This is a big onion with a lot of layers. So, let's see. Rebuilding and enhancing programs to resettle refugees and planning for the impact of climate change on migration. All right. It says through the United States Refugee Admissions Program, also known as USRAP, the federal government, cooperating with private partners and American citizens and communities across the country, demonstrates the generosity and core values of our nation. Security vetting for applicants should be improved to be more efficient, meaningful, and fair. It says delays in administrating the USRAP and other humanitarian programs are counter to our national interests. It should be rebuilt and expanded, commensurate with global need and the purposes described above. USRAP and other humanitarian programs shall be administered in a manner that furthers our values as a nation and is consistent with our domestic law, international obligations, and the humanitarian purposes expressed by the Congress in enacting the Refugee Act of 1980. Okay, so this is a lot of stuff. It says, to meet the challenges of restoring and expanding USRAP, the U.S. must innovate, including by effectively employing technology and capitalizing on community and private sponsorship of refugees, while continuing to partner with resettlement agencies for reception and placement, revocation, rescission, and reporting. So it says Executive Order 13815 of October 24th, 2017, known as the Resuming the United States Refugee Admissions Program with Enhanced Vetting Capabilities, and Trump's Executive Order 13888, titled Enhancing State and Local Involvement in Refugee Resettlement, are revoked. Yes. And then it says the Presidential Memorandum of 2017 implementing immediate heightened screening and vetting of applications for visas and other immigration benefits, ensuring enforcement of all laws for entry into the United States, and increasing transparency among departments and agencies of the federal government and for the American people is revoked. Joe Biden's executive orders are revoking all of Trump's executive orders, which were protecting and enforcing security at our border. This is right here in front of your face. It's not Donald Trump's fault. Yeah, read it, folks. Look at how long this is. All these words matter. Read it. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Okay? So, once again, proof that it's not Donald Trump's failed border policies. Okay, let's see. Termination of emergency with respect to the International Criminal Court. Oh my God. He revoked a lot of Donald Trump's executive orders. In my opinion, they were very pro-America. And Joe Biden and Kamala took it upon themselves to revoke his executive orders, even if the majority of them were pro-America, even though, according to the Democrats, Donald Trump is a threat to America. Yeah, whatever. Knowledge is power, folks. And I'm showing you where to find all the knowledge you need to make a more informed decision when it comes to the election for 2024. Because this is probably the most important election in many, 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 many years. We have a lot of our inherent rights on the line. Oh, I don't even know. This is crazy. Okay, so that was just the first year of Joe being in office. We have 3 more to go, if you can imagine that. Yeah, I'll fast forward through a lot of this. On a side note, there are quite a few memorandums that were issued from both administrations that are pretty important and worthy of mentioning as well when it comes to the border. Alright, so 2023. Let's check out 2024. Alright, so as you can see, in a matter of what, 3? Maybe 4 executive orders, if that, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris successfully dismantled all of the pro-America, pro-American safety, pro-American values, everything protecting this country. Their administration revoked all of it and opened the gates for all of these illegal immigrants to come into our country and live off of our taxpayer dollars. All right, y'all. So, as you could see, there is a lot to go through. This isn't a simple situation. But, as you can see, Kamala is full of crap. She's lying. Biden is lying. The claims that the Biden administration and the Democrats have been making for years about the border are false. And this notion that the bipartisan border bill that got shot down by Trump, that's the reason, and da-da-da. Look, presidents have the power to make things happen, to change situations. It is not Donald Trump's fault that the Democrats took it upon themselves to wait until it's right before an election to try to do something to make them look better. That's what that border bill is all about. As you can see, Joe Biden purposely stripped away our border to let illegal immigrants in. And he has been using our taxpayer dollars to take care of them. And lying to our face the whole time. Kamala's full of crap. All the Democrats are full of crap when it comes to the border. Anywho, I hope you learned something today. Take it or leave it. Now you have a little bit more clarity as to the truth and reality of the situation. Have a great day. Peace.